Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is SlammerIV. And we're playing some more Littlewargame. Wouldn't you know? What a surprise. Supply blocked at 60. What else is new, my friends? What else is new? Got some smooth jazz. I don't know if that's really what they call it, but that's what we're listening to. Playing some rando. Let's see, what's his name? Nantonu. Almost French. I wonder if he's French. Could be. That's a pretty chill game to start off the day, right? Last video, the music was a little loud, so I'm hoping that that's been fixed. I was listening to it earlier and it sounded good, but sometimes when you put it up on YouTube, you know, you never know. You never know with life sometimes. So this guy's bad. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, right? Like, what even is this? I'm trying not to lose all my wolves. I'm gonna just kill the... He's not pulling his workers. You're supposed to pull your workers here, but he's not doing that because, you know, he's bad. But, you know, I'm not to judge or anything. I love seeing players play ranked, and it's really exciting to see players, you know, engage in the game and still get up there and queue. So, good on him. Just needs to work on his build order a little bit. He's just not building enough. I mean, this seems like way too many houses. Not sure what's going on there. And these guys are just wandering around the map aimlessly, so that's a thing. But you know, I don't mind. I'm just gonna stay supply block forever, because apparently that's a good strategy. Probably transfer some workers, huh? The macro of this game leaves a lot to be desired. Terrifically bad, shall we say. So that army, I don't know what happened to it. It was just wandering around. I'm tempted to scout for like a hidden proxy base or something, because I feel like he has it, like just the way he was marching around. But I don't know if I can be bothered. I'm listening to some smooth jazz. Like, I don't know if we can really be bothered, to be honest. Like, even this, I'm just like, you know, whatever happens, happens. It's almost like he's an AI or something. He's not even aiming between his units. That's fine. Totally fine. Let's get these workers working. Kill the last of his workers. I mean, this game's over. Yeah. So, I just decided to start the video right in the middle of the thick of things. I mean, this game is pretty boring, to be honest. There's not really anything going on. We're just winning. We're getting some weird lag spikes, but that's hopefully gone away. If anyone's wondering what I'm listening to, I'm going to put a link in the description below. It's some royalty-free, or at least free download, something or other, music that I found. There's a lot of cool music you can find on YouTube. So, I think I'm going to be trying out some different styles and genres. I think yesterday I did some piano or something. This time we got some jazz. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we find to do. I'm gonna kill this castle because I'm worried that he's hiding stuff. Once you kill the castle, it becomes revealed. Again, supply book at 110 because you know, something one does. I'm pretty sure listening to music makes me play slower. Like, that just seems to be a fact. There's a chess streamer I watch. What is his name? Chess Bros is the Twitch stream. I don't remember the name of the guy. Anyway, he listens to like this really funny techno, like fast beat type musics. Like when he plays chess. So I guess that he may, I mean, he plays Blitz a lot, so he's playing like Bullet, right? So I think this is like the opposite effect. Doing jazz is like literally like slowing me down. But you know, what can you do? What can you do? I feel like playing at a nice 80 APM. That seems about reasonable, right, guys? High level Littlewargame here. I'm gonna put like super high level Littlewargame in the stream description, or the video description, etc. TMI. You know what? I've never done this before. Oh. I was gonna do a replay really quickly if Trick Daz was not gonna be playing. But apparently he's gonna play, so we'll play a couple. I have been meaning to play Xenos Mech. Because I feel like I haven't really fulfilled the potential of this map, Mech for Mech. Specifically, I've been theory crafting this base right here. This choke point is really small. It doesn't take much to wall this off. So I imagine walling off here, putting a tower here and here to block like air path and stuff. And then, so expanding with like these first four bases. I think that's going to be strong. So natural, third, fourth, and then later in the game expanding at the top and pushing in this direction while you have this area just walled completely off. So that's going to be my strategy. We're going to be playing a very defensive Met game. Very turtley. Very jazzy, I guess you could say. Very jazzy little game of Littlewargame here. On Xenos. Oh shoot, that's my T-Mug. I do hope everyone's doing good. If you guys have any music requests, feel free to leave comments on YouTube, and I'll take a look. I have to look into all the like copyright stuff with YouTube music. I'm pretty sure if you don't monetize your videos, you don't get into too much trouble though. So I don't think I'm going to be monetizing my videos anytime soon. I certainly have monetization off in any event, so I'm not going to get that sweet, sweet AdSense revenue off my 25 viewers. That Littlewargame YouTube life, man, feels good. Your question is, when is this patch coming out? That's, you know, the question I think that's been on all of our minds, weighing us down, keeping us up at night in a lot of ways. But you know, it's okay. It is okay. We can go one workshop expand, and it's gonna be okay, man. It's all good. I heard rumors that the hotkeys are going to be changed for this game when the new patch drops. Which, whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to have to remap everything back to my normal hotkeys. Although, okay, something I have to do, and I should do it sooner rather than later, but I really need to remap bird. Because there's so many games that I build birds because it's hotkey to W instead of E. Like, bird should be on a key that I never press because I never make birds. So, that's a thing. So this does delay my expansion a bit. Sometimes you just, that's what happens, you know. Oh shoot, I did stop clicking him. That was pretty annoying. So I'm gonna go 1-1-1. But I'm gonna play this pretty greedy. I'm not gonna go for aggressive at all. I'm gonna get my mill out. I like getting the mill before the house because, you know, the house doesn't really do anything because the house completes around the time your castle completes, so it doesn't really help your supply block or anything. You know, it's kind of useless. I'm actually gonna get my speed first. The castle feels super late right now, but it's actually kind of fine. I'm losing a lot of gold because these two workers aren't mining. That was kind of a mistake on my part to pull that worker. But, you know, live and learn. What's life if you're not learning from your mistakes, you know? So he made only one wolf that I saw. So I'm a little concerned. Once speed finishes, I'm gonna try to scout a little bit with these dudes, because then I could kind of run away from wolves and stuff. Of course, once the mill comes out, I can scout better. So that mill's gonna come in a second. I need to get my house. That house that I was just talking about needs to be coming down. Don't have this rally because I'm bad. Alright, so we need to get our first gyro out. Now that gyro's coming pretty slow. It takes 30 seconds to build, so it's gonna take a little while for that dude to get out. Again, really low wolf count, but he could have wolves lurking. I have really no idea. So I think I'm just gonna scout with the gyro and keep the rest of my units at home for now. I think I'll go for an expand on 50. I mean, the most important thing is definitely like worker production, right? I suspect he's going for fast dragons or fast eco. One of those two. I mean, if it's eco, it's gonna make it a tough game. But our own eco is going to be pretty good here. So I'm going to try to shoo some wolves away from my expansions. So we're going to scout with this. Oh, I didn't set my camera location hotkeys. Gonna kill, I think, maybe one worker here. How much damage do I do? I guess I do 12 damage. He already has a third base, I'm pretty sure. Just from judging from the way that he's been... Oh, maybe not. Am I totally misjudging? Oh, shh. Ladies and gentlemen. I was like, what is going on in this game? It feels so normal. Weird game. Really hard to figure out where we are in this one. I want to get towers out ASAP. I also don't want to cut units at all. Or workers. Question remains whether he's going to actually pressure anymore. That was a lot harder because I had those 2 gyros across the map. I don't think he did enough though, but it's really hard to tell. So now what I want to get is my upgrades. And I just want a macro. No need to panic and stuff. Just gotta keep calm, keep macro. And get upgrades fast. So again, I can wall to, like this way and down here. Okay, I need to stop building gyros. Because he's committed to making balliste, which makes me kind of uncomfortable, man. It's almost like he's decided to go for some kind of hardcore balliste play. I'm gonna get my 4th base up. So I'm gonna chase that army down with my his upgrades are 0-0. Makes me feel kind of good. I think I have enough to still win this. We'll have to find out. Where's my... Oh, shoot. I lost all my workers in my third. That's really disastrous. I was too greedy that game. I honestly really didn't expect that play to be so aggressive. But yeah, I took my fourth base too quickly. I needed to just build a third and fourth workshop quicker and take a much slower fourth. Got a little bit caught out by how aggressive he was playing. So interesting game though. Really good learning game there. Just got a little very surprised by that play, to be honest. It's pretty simple just to build some towers and defend. But you just can't cut that many workers and stuff. Because if you pick up that many workers, then you're in trouble. Alright, let's watch a replay. This should be a decent one. This probably won't be a particularly analytical cast, but we're playing versus Dragon Archer Z on Stream Junction. This is going to be a pretty instructive game. I think you can learn a lot from this game. I go for castle first, and I decide to scout, proxies and stuff, and he goes for one den expand. So one castle first is a lot better than one den, because one den doesn't actually have the ability to put pressure on a castle first expand, as you're going to see here in a second. I scout it with my worker, so it's a little annoying because I'm going to lose a worker. But I'm pretty fine with it because I try to block him as much as possible, just making it a little bit harder for him to put his castle down. I don't know if I actually block him in any meaningful amount. And then I go for double den. So you can see my castle's about to complete as his is about to start. So even though he's got a worker advantage, he's ended up with a 2 worker advantage, I can make that up with my production. I do have to cut a couple workers just to get that that wolf out quicker, because I want to make sure I can defend with wolves. Because even though he has like this tiny 8 worker advantage, again, because I lost a worker in scouting, that's really where that 1 worker comes from. I have more income because I was mining from this a little bit quicker. So he knows what I'm doing. He knows I'm going for 2 castle and stuff, and he decides to go for a fast third base. And then he does get a wolf caught here, which means my job is to put pressure on. Now, the reason you want to put pressure on in Beast vs. Beast is because you really want to get a feel for what your opponent's doing. And it's really important that you understand wolf engagements and how to count wolves. Because if you count the number of wolves, if you have more wolves, you should be able to take fights. And if you have less wolves, you have to run away. Because you really don't want to be fighting with less wolves than your opponent has. So you can see I have 7 wolves versus 4 here. And he is also sending a couple wolves kind of scattered across the map. So as a result, a little bit of a pause there, but as a result of this, the way his wolves are positioned, I have a massive situational wolf count advantage here. I have 5 versus 3 actually, and 3 workers. Now here, wolves don't have that much DPS, and they kill workers much faster than they get killed themselves. So here I'm able to just focus down his workers and deny him from getting here. Now I'm going for a lair in the background, so I know I have to fight. I have to fight here because if I let him take this third base uncontested, I'm just gonna fall behind in wolf count. So I'm gonna take this fight as a response to that. And he has to wait because he can't fight these wolves. He doesn't have enough. So he just has to let that thing take damage. He's gonna scout with one of his wolves. I do manage to catch that wolf and can surround it, because it's really tough to micro everything at once, so it's really easy to get that wolf just surrounded. It ends up paying for itself, because I lose a pretty significant amount of mining there, which is a bit of a mistake on my part. Here you can see the way I'm taking my fights is far superior. I'm actually getting some excellent concaves on him here. And it's making it really tough for him to really take these engagements, but he does have a 5 worker advantage, so he can afford to lose a lot of workers in this position. But he's really down on wolves, and he's so far down on wolves that he's guaranteed to be losing workers now if he takes fights here. And you're going to see that workers are going to start dying pretty quickly here. It's still 12 wolves to 4 wolves, so he can like stay alive, but he's going to lose workers. There's really just no hope for him to not lose workers in this situation. Pretty nice micro on his part, trying to pull workers back and stuff, but he ends up losing a pretty significant count here. And really, the battle's not over yet. There's still wolves to be shooed away. I decided to try to get a little more worker damage, but I don't end up getting it. But now I've evened up the worker count. It's 20 to 19. My own third base is on the way. So during the game, I actually thought I was farther ahead than I was. If you look at the total income, it's actually really even, and the units tab is actually really even. In fact, we're slightly behind still. So the only significant difference is the upgrades and the tech. So I've gotten 2 dragon layers and a fortress out, which is a pretty significant investment, and that's really where my main advantage in this game lies. Also, if you look at the units lost, he's lost significantly more because he's been losing workers and I've been only losing wolves and stuff. So I'm definitely at a slight advantage, but nothing significant, and certainly less than I thought I was when I was playing this game, because I felt like I was pretty far ahead. But it turns out I wasn't as far ahead as I thought I was. Now that being said, dragons is a pretty large tech advantage to have at this state in the game. So the very first thing it's going to do is it's immediately going to force out towers. He has to build towers, because he doesn't have any anti-air, and he absolutely needs towers to basically keep his units alive. Otherwise he loses all his workers. In retrospect, I feel like I could have right-clicked on this tower building here. I see it's pretty low health, and I think I would have killed it and basically taken control of this entire mine. But I decided instead to go for workers and to try to deny mining. When you're hitting the worker line, it kind of forces him to pull the workers off of mining, or at least take some damage from the AoE damage. So I'm trying to do that as much as possible. Meanwhile, in the backfield, I'm just trying to continue to macro out more workers. I'm at 26 of 24. I'm just going to keep building a lot of those. Because I'm able to whittle his worker count down a little bit just through pot shots. I can soak a lot of turret shots, not a ton of turret shots, but I can definitely soak some turret shots. Here I'm getting some nice juicy AoE hits on his workers. You can see that each one of these dragons, I've killed, looks like 3 workers so far between these dragons. Now I'm going to tickle away at a house. I'm really very content again. I have this nice tech advantage with the 6 dragons, so I'm really content just to sit back, macro up, get upgrades and stuff. It just feels like this is a really comfortable game, right? To play in right now. When you have this dragon advantage, I know he has to build workshops, he has to build stuff, and it's just going to be, expensive for him. And I'm going to get more workers here. Get another worker, scoot over, and then I think, oh shoot, I can try to kill a couple more workers and maybe kill his upgrades. I was a little indecisive with my targeting here. That was kind of unfortunate. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the upgrade because I just don't have enough damage. And he has Ballistay and snakes and stuff out. He actually kills a snake. He has gotten a +2 upgrade going. And I don't have any upgrades yet, so that's definitely an advantage for him. I'm going to speed this up because, the smooth jazz is slow enough, to be honest. It doesn't need to be any slower. Now these snakes can't take fights. Until the Ballistay arrive, he can shoot that away. So it's 33 workers to 30, 7 dragons to Passel of Wolf, Snake, and Ballistay. So again, the 7 dragons is a ton of equity. That's a lot of gold, that's a lot of mobility, that's a lot of map control that I own in this game. And I'm going to use that to get a 4th base and a lot of upgrades, and I'm starting to pull ahead in the worker count. You can see I'm at 36 workers. So I'm getting to a pretty comfortable eco advantage over him. And I'm also going to be throwing down my werewolf dens before him. Now I know he has to go for werewolves in this scenario, because werewolves are going to be the killing unit, the unit that actually does, you know, good stuff. So I'm kind of planning already for the next stage of this game, which is werewolves for sure. Werewolves, yeah. And I also see that he's getting all these armor upgrades. So again, I mean, armor upgrades are amazing, but they really don't do much against werewolves, right? Because werewolves will just get tickled by wolf snake, and they'll still do plenty of damage even if your opponent has some armor. I'm sorry, he's not getting armor. I don't know why I was saying that. He's actually getting attack. Smooth Jazz is messing with my mind. I think actually, do I get armor? No, I get attack too. I literally thought he was getting armor when I was playing this game, to be honest. That's why I was saying he got armor, because it was just a mistake when I was playing the game. Which is funny enough. But in any event, I'm getting my werewolves because that's the next step in the evolution of this game. He's going for +4, actually +5 snakes. So he's going to have some really strong snake play. And I'm like, ooh, I need to focus this down. Now I finally got +1 attack, and I'm like, let's just kill this upgrade. So you can see I've got, I'm just trading dragons. Now I see he has 3 ballistate, so I kind of want to just lose these dragons and change supply. He has 4 ballistate, so I'm pretty happy to have him have all that supply hung up in a unit that's not really going to fight well against wolf, snake, and ballistate. So I've got +2, and I'm going for triple upgrade because I really want to catch up in that upgrade count. And I know my economy is a lot better than his, even though in the end it's actually not that much better. It's interesting looking back on this game because I was playing as if I had a far larger lead than I had. I thought I was like way ahead from the early game, but I was actually way less ahead than I thought I was, to be honest, which I find pretty interesting. I mean, the dragons were my advantage, but I've actually lost them all at this point in the game, and I was just relying on my werewolf tech. I mean, I've had a very meager, and then 2 werewolves, dude. I just lost 2 werewolves for free, which is not fun. I've got a 5th base up, so again, I'm saying like 1 base ahead of him and like 1 tech switch ahead of him in this game. And he's going to come in with a nice wolf snake army, and he does focus down a couple turrets here, but I've got +3 attack, so I've got only slightly worse attack than him, and I'm obviously these 3 werewolves just dominate wolf snake. Like there's really not a lot of hope for wolf snake when you got werewolves coming in. So we're gonna hurry this dude up a little bit. As the snakes come in, he has to run away. He is gonna lose a couple ballistae here, but I'm not gonna start building dragons until a little bit later in this game because I want my ballistae to come in. So now the werewolves are going to pad their way back with their giant alligator feet. And I'm slowly going to start kind of catching up on that upgrade advantage. I'm now +3, +1 against +4, +1. But I've actually got 3 upgrades coming, and he only has, well, he actually has 2 coming. So the upgrades are about even at this point. I'm going for werewolf drops, because again, werewolves are so tanky, and they're really good at focusing on structures in the state in the game. He's trying to diversify his technology, getting churches out, getting his first dragons out. He's at 48 workers of 50, so really nice worker counts. Very, very even game at this point, but I do have an extra base. This is actually a really nice modern... this is a really nice modern beast versus beast gameplay. So I've dropped 1 here, and I was hold positioning it to just try to kill workers, but I also focused down the upgrade. So that's pretty significant, to focus down that +2 armor. Really sets him back pretty significantly in the upgrade advantage. So you can see both of us are kind of floating at this point, and it's really a compositional battle and a positional battle. It's really tough to... It's really a matter of who can jostle for position better. Drops are going to be really important in this kind of matchup. Again, he doesn't really have the werewolves, so his army is just going to die to mine. I've got a little hit squad here trying to go kill his base here, but he has 4 towers, so he's really starting to get a strong defense on that far right side. I mean, even +3, +2 werewolves are going to have some difficulty busting through towers like that. Actually, I'm up to +4 attack. But yeah, I guess you get +2 for every upgrade on your werewolves. Interesting. But I'm still getting 3 upgrades at once, and he's down to just 1 upgrade at a time now. So that upgrade advantage is really going to start telling here. As we take these fights, and you can see that even tiny numbers of werewolves are still doing a pretty decent job at slaughtering wolves. And I mean, you can kill 3 or 4 wolves and you've already made up for the cost of your werewolf. So even though this is not like the most cost efficient trade, it's still pretty good. Like, it's good enough, to be honest. Now I'm just dropping werewolves everywhere because werewolves are good units, apparently. And again, the income is just ridiculous at this point. Both of us are just raking in the cash. I've definitely got a pretty strong, about 3,000 gold advantage. And again, using hold position, I'm just slaughtering workers at this point. I'm just taking the hits from the snakes. I mean, once I start stacking up that armor, I've got like +7 armor. So I just kill workers for free. And I've brought him down to 34 workers. So even though we're on kind of equal-ish bases, I'm 1 base ahead. No, actually, yeah, I'm about 1 base ahead, but my upgrade advantage and my worker advantage is really what I have going for me right now. So now he's going to try to get across the map. Priest gets caught there. It's really tough to use Priest and Balliste as you get later in the game because I'm creeping towards +5 on my dragon beast units. So your +0 Balliste are really not as good as they were earlier in the game at focusing down these tech units of the beast player. And again, I'm gonna get his upgrades. He's only at +5/+1, so I've got like a nice upgrade advantage at this point. About a 2 upgrade advantage. He does hit my middle base, but I've got a huge flock of dragons. I've thrown down extra layer, so I've switched back into dragon later in the game. And I have 8 dragon already on the field. And this is where you can see the problem with having Balliste in this situation is I don't even lose a dragon here. Okay, I lose 1 dragon to snakes. But I lose 1 dragon and basically get complete air dominance. I do lose this base, but I have this left base and this right base as well, so it's not really too much of a problem to lose this one. And now I have massive dragon count, which is going to be really strong. Now, interesting thing to note in this game is dragons do not do amazing against werewolves. It takes a little long time for them to kill. I mean, basically, and nothing does well against werewolves. Werewolves are beastly. Probably the strongest like unit in the game, straight up. Yeah. If you had to pick one unit, like it's the werewolf. They're really, really good. And again, just hold positioning in the middle of the map, getting as much damage possible onto the map. I'm really just leveraging a small advantage here and trying to take it deeper and deeper into the game. So now it's really a matter of massive upgrade advantage, right? You can see that his dragons just aren't doing as well against my dragons because of the upgrades. And he's also pretty severely outnumbered at this point, even though a lot of my dragons are kind of wandering around the map not being effective. So if we just take a stock of the units, it's 13 dragons to 7. He's got 2 Balliste and a priest and just a handful of snakes and wolves on either side. And I've got 2 werewolves as well. So most of my supply is just in dragons at this point. But I definitely have the gold advantage because I have these right and left bases. So I have basically 1 base full up on him. He's going to send a invisible werewolf and an invisible dropship across the map. To do what? I'm not really sure. But I'm gearing up for a major attack. I find on this map that this is kind of an awkward area to attack, because you can't like go up here, you have to go around, so it's kind of weird. Here a bit of a mistake, I don't focus down the Balliste, and this Balliste is going to go invisible and cause a ton of damage, which is annoying. But in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this fight goes like way worse than I thought it would, just because this invisible Balliste does so much execution throughout this battle. But even like, as you can see, like it's just it's +0 ballast. It just doesn't do much. I'm getting my forges down because I want to start getting my own upgrades up. So I am going to spend some gold into my own mech upgrades in a second here. So I finally noticed that he's got invisible stings going here. So we end up losing like 1,000,000 dragons for free. So that's kind of annoying. But it happens, you know, it happens. I'm not sure what happened to that invisible werewolf. Probably got cleaned up by dragons, I imagine. So now I decide that time to do some eco harass. I'm going to send my dragon swinging around the right side. It's 115 supply to 118, so still a solid game from Dragon Archer Z. He's got the he's actually got more workers, surprisingly. So as long as he can stop my own dragon force, he's actually in a really reasonable position. I'm getting invisibility on my top left base. So this is a pretty significant move. I catch about 12 workers, almost an entire mineral line, and focus down most of them. There's not a lot of workers left here, and that kills about 10, which ends up being pretty important in a close game like this. And again, the upgrades, he's got +5, +2, and he's up against +5, +5. So he's a full 3 armor upgrades behind right now. And I'm also getting mech upgrades. I'm getting armor and attack both for my Balliste. And obviously he has no mech upgrades. He has no money to squeeze out those kind of upgrades. He's just trying to get units at this point. He's only mining on 2 bases, whereas I have a full 3 to get gold from, plus the corner base, which looks like he's already mined out. So somehow I still have a decent amount of gold on these bases. He's going up against 4 towers. And I'm just trading away with workers at this point. He's going to eventually kill this, but at what cost? He's going to lose everything else. And it's 150 supply at 120. And basically has no workers left. I know this is like his last mining base, so I just sit here and kill workers. I actually run away with my workers, so I keep my economy healthy. I mean, he's down to 7 workers, so there's really no way to replace his army now. He doesn't even have a mine. Like, there's still 2,000 gold here, but he's not even mining from it because he kind of went for a bit of a base trade. But I know I can just resupply to my top right and top left. So this is actually the beginning of the end here because I just have too many dragons. He has 4 Balliste, but only 4 of his own dragons. So once those Balliste get focused down, remember they're 0-0, there's just not a lot of hope. My plus attack Ballistes will do a lot better than his low health ballot units. Of course, I can't really take fights directly underneath Balliste because my army is mostly dragon, which are pretty squishy. So I kind of just am trying to kite back, do damage to his units, and keep my drone dragons alive. I do lose a couple like dropships and a couple dragons, but all in all, that was an effective trade. I killed about 2 werewolves there and some snakes, lost about 3 dragons plus a couple dropships, which is pretty fine. I have, you know, 1,000 gold in the bank. I've fully maxed out. He's scrabbling together 70 supply of all my upgraded units, and he can't really fight my towers because with the amount of units I have, fighting into towers would be pretty disastrous. So now I'm just going to try to chase him down with my werewolves, and it's kind of a merry dance as he's going to run into my towers here. This is a perfectly fine fight for me. I'm willing to kind of trade dragons here in an effort to finally catch up with him. He's basically got nothing to kill my werewolves, so as soon as the werewolves arrive, it's like, well, GG. Not a lot you can do from there. Obviously, he has no more mining. And yeah, I think that was a really interesting beast versus beast. When I played it, it felt like I was ahead really the entire game. But watching it back, I don't think I was as ahead as I thought I was. But I think just having the superior dragon count early in the game gives you a lot of freedom to expand, and just allowed me to have a nice gold advantage. As you can see in the post-game stats, I was really ahead in gold. Through the harassment that I did. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I think that was a really fun game. Prefaced it with a little bit of live gameplay, so you got kind of the best of both worlds, guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all around. Take it easy, and we'll catch you next time.